Waiting room le avaru unnaru chudandi. Waiting room le avaru unnaru. Namaste all. It's a pleasure to start this auspicious occasion by heartily welcoming everyone. The galaxy of intellectuals, guests, teachers, parents, and students. A pleasant good morning to all. Today, a special and memorable occasion that one will remember in the years ahead. It's an honor to be surrounded by so many special people on this gracious occasion. On this gracious occasion, I welcome our beloved Director Sir, Dr. GVR Srinivas Rao Garu, Professor in Civil Engineering, Director RGKT, Andhra Pradesh Newswood Campus, and Chairman, State Expertise Appraisal Committee to preside the program. I welcome you, sir. Over to our beloved Director, sir.
Very good morning to all of you. The chief guest of today's program, Yoga Ratna, Sridhar, am I audible to you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. The chief guest of today's program, Yoga Ratna, Dr. S.N. Omkar Garu, the Chief Research Scientist, IISc Bangalore, a disciple of the divinity Padma Bhushan BKS Iyengar. And today's guest of honor, Dr. Jaideep Aryaji, Secretary, International Yogasana Sports Federation, Board Member of Yoga Certification Board of Ministry of Ayush, and Honorary Member of Inter-Ministerial Committee of IDY Government of India. Sri Satya Sridhar, the Faculty, Department of Yoga and Consciousness of RGUKT, Newswood Campus, the Dean of Academic Affairs, my dear colleagues of RGUKT, the participants of the webinar, a very good morning to all of you for this particular program. Indeed, it's a great pleasure and honor for me to participate in this particular program today because it is being hosted in association with Yogasana Sports Federation. And I'm very happy to make a note that more than 1,500 participants got registered for this particular program, spanning from 23 different states of this country. It's truly, undoubtedly a national webinar. And I wish the next time when you conduct the program, it shall cross the boundaries of our country and it shall be truly an international program. Then coming to today's the topic of yoga as a sport, in and as sports. It's a very interesting topic, really. We all know quite pretty well that the basic or the ultimate objective of yoga is the union of the body and the soul. That means the psychological as well as the physiological fraternities of the human systems are to be well integrated. That is possible with yoga. So for any sports person, for that matter, any person, if something is to be done physically, it is to be initiated mentally first. When an act is to be performed physically, the action, first of all, will take place in the psychological arena, then only it will be reflected in the physical platform. So for any sports person, I feel he should be mentally strong. So to make a person mentally strong, actually, the practice of yoga will be quite useful. And at the same time, the sports persons, while engaging in a game, there is likelihood of getting into certain awkward portions at certain point of or other point of time, and which may lead a lot of troubles for them in future. So to avoid such difficulties, the yogic practices will make the body of the sports person fit enough to meet even any type of awkward positions while they are playing a game. Apart from that, if you take the Indian, our country into consideration, in the near future, India can boast itself having more number of youth when compared with any other country in the world, a youthful India. So our youth, right from their childhood, if they are being trained, cutting across all sorts of different types of customary practices. If our youth, right from the beginning, right from the childhood, if they are being trained in yogic practices, definitely we'll have a well-disciplined youth in the near future. And with that only, India can become a superpower in the entire world. See, the discipline, the people I have observed in our campus, I observed the difference between the students who are engaged in these yogic practices and who are not engaged in the yogic practices. I observed a little bit of difference in the disciplinary aspects. So my observation is discipline is to be inculcated, not to be enforced. Can't be enforced. Even if it is enforced by an authority, it is very short-lived. But if it is inculcated in the youth right from the beginning, so that will imbibe in their lifestyle as a part of a lifestyle. So their future endeavors, the entire life will be well disciplined, and definitely only with the discipline, we all know that we can achieve greater heights. And coming to the sports, yes, India is having every right to claim that this yoga can become a part of a sport from our country. And I wish that it is to be taken as a mass movement. In this regard, definitely people like Dr. Jaideep Arya can do a lot. So unless otherwise, we take this as a movement, a mass movement, there is every possibility that the well-developed Western countries may claim that it is their patented sports activity. Definitely. And the other day, when I'm going through certain article, somebody has written that, okay, yoga was brought to India by Persians, by some Greek. I got literally wondered. The archaeological remains of Indus Valley civilization have shown us inscriptions with Pashupatinas in yogic posture way back in 3000 BC. It is there in our system. Our Indian culture, yoga is a part of our Indian culture. But people are claiming that yoga is coming from different parts of the world to India and with different types of names. So it is the right time for us to claim that it is a part of Indian culture, and India has shown this particular yoga to the entire world, and we should try hard to make it as a sport, and from the India, it should be kept as a sport activity even up to Olympics. Then only people will be knowing that yes, it is a part of the Indian culture. Yoga is not something different. It is there as a part of our Indian livelihood and Indian life and Indian way of culture. So with this few opening remarks, I congratulate the organizers for giving me an opportunity to take part in this program. And also I congratulate our Yogashala for spearheading this particular program. And thank you very much once again. Thank you. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Without your unconditional and uninterrupted support, we are not able to do this, sir. The entire credit of this success of this webinar goes to you only, sir. Now we will go into the program with your permission, sir. Being devoted to the path of knowledge, purity in heart, clarity in mind, sincerity in action, and contentment is a Jnana Yogi. Today, we are blessed to have that Jnana Yogi with us. He is none other than today's chief guest, Yogaratna Dr. S.N. Omkar sir, who is the Chief Research Scientist of IISc Bangalore in the Department of Aerospace Engineering. He is not only a scientist, but also a yoga therapist, Nitya Yoga Sadhaka, author, and a great teacher and philosopher who follow the principles of Patanjali Sutras in his life. His contributions to yoga and engineering science are numerous. Some of them are yoga camps for sports players, yoga trainings for public across the world, several yoga programs in TV channels, Surya program, which is a student affiliated program, and published several articles and even authored many books on yoga. Just with the power of mind, no joystick and remotes, he and his students made a mind-controlled drone steered by thoughts. He is highly passionate about delivering the best to the students that could drive and infuse hope among the learners. For his contributions in the field of UAV and yoga, the Karnataka state honored him with the awards of Rajyotsava, Kempegoda, and has given the titles of Yogaratna, Apurva Kalanidhi, Yoga Bhaskara, Yoga Rishi, and many more. Undoubtedly, he is a role model for his commitment and responsibilities to skill greater heights. We are very fortunate to have our guru with us on this auspicious day. We extend our affable welcome to you, sir. Over to welcome, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Respected dignitaries, Professor Srinivas Rao, Dr. Jaideep Arya, and my dear Yoga Bandhu Satya Sridhar, and all the Yoga Bandhus who are on this webinar today. Namaste to all of you. Today is a very auspicious day, Teachers' Day. And so you've chosen a very, very apt occasion to hold this webinar. So I will, I can share my screen, Satya.
You can, sir. You can, sir.
I will share my screen. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you able to see my PowerPoint?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, we'll begin with salutation to Guru. Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Kanchi Vadaya Vidmahe Shantarupaya Dhimahi Tanno Chandrasekharendra Prachodayad. I offer all these things at the feet of my Adhyatma Guru, Sri 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 Chandrasekharendra Saraswati, the Mahaperiyava of Kanchi. So today's topic is yoga in and as sports. We all know that India is at the forefront of yoga. I do agree the observations of Professor Srinivas Rao. It is very true because if you look at the number of research publications that are coming world over, in fact, many other countries are taking lead. So if we do not conduct enough research and publish, of course, now publications are increasing even in the country, thanks to our Honorable PM Narendra Modi ji for his support to various yoga research. We have also got some funding from the central government. We are also publishing. But yet, the amount of research that is being done elsewhere in the world is much more than what we are doing. If this trend continues, then references to our own Patanjali, Hatha Yoga Pradipika, etc. will slowly go away. So it is high time that not only we should practice yoga, there is no doubt, but we should also document things properly and publish to prove the efficacy of our cultural heritage. Okay, with these few remarks, we will also offer our pranams to our beloved Guruji, Padma Bhushana, Padma Vibhushana, Dr. B.K.S. Iyengar. In fact, it is my fortune that I could write his biography, and it has been published in 3 languages, Kannada, English, Hindi. It was just before 3 months he left his physical abode that I had a good time with him because I had to discuss. I had written the book. So that is when I went to meet him. He was at Bellur in his institute. I went there, then I thought because I didn't want to disturb him much, so I had taken a printout and told him that, yes, I have written about you. I wanted to just authenticate so that no information should be distorted. Then he said in his own style, hey, sit down, you read, let me listen and correct. So whole day I was there with him. It was my fortune. It was just about 3 months before he left his physical abode. So, yes, this is Dr. S. Radhakrishnan, who is sitting at the center. In his honor only, we are celebrating today as the Teachers' Day. Now, this is one classical example of what a great teacher he was. He was teaching at Mysore Maharaja College, and on another assignment, he was supposed to leave to Delhi. So he resigned, and this is the farewell photo. So from the farewell party, he was supposed to go to the railway station. And those days, there was this Tanga. Mysore is famous for this. Tanga means it is a horse chariot, let us put it that way. So that was arranged. All his belongings were put there. And he was such a great teacher. All of his students had arrived to bid him farewell. And when he came out to go from college to the railway station, the students untethered the horse. There were 2 horses which they untethered, and they themselves pulled the horse chariot to the railway station. That is something remarkable, and that also shows what a great teacher he was and what great students were there who respected their teacher. So with this opening, we will get into the topic. Well, if one of us say that, okay, you should respect your parents and teachers, you may not listen. But let us see what Tendulkar has said. Yes, I have taught him quite a number of classes on a number of occasions. We will know more of those things. Here is a statement from Tendulkar which I liked. There is a right time for everything in life. You have to face it and accept the challenge as you move on. During my school days, we all had fun, but I never disrespected my teachers, parents, and guru. Whatever I achieved in my life was only because of them. Archekar sir, that is the person who taught him cricket, found a spark in me and molded me in his own way. He gave me the opportunities and I grabbed them with both the hands. I believe, very important, this sentence, I believe those who don't respect their guru and parents are not normal people. So this is why I have a lot of respect for Tendulkar apart from his cricketing talents. Well, this is one of the newspaper item, Telegraph Online. I was also involved in some yoga lessons to the famed archer, Limbaram, and famed sprint queen, P.T. Usha. Well, we should know what is this yoga is all about. Because is it just doing some yogic postures, breathing techniques? And just because I do some asana and pranayama, do I qualify to be called a yogi? What is it? Because what you see in the picture is I was a part of the Ranji Trophy team which consecutively won 2 finals. That was when, of course, Anil Kumble was the captain, and you can see all of them there. So what is important is, in life, some ups and downs do come. How are you facing them? How do you take them? That is the most important thing. That is what determines whether you are in yoga or not. The obstacles in life, how do you take them? How do you face them? That is more important. So, Sage Patanjali has enlisted 9 obstacles. Vyadi, Jnana, Samshaya, Alasya, Avirati, Pramada, Bhranti Darshana, Alabdha Bhumikatva, Anamasthitatva, Chitta Vikshepa Sahabhuvaha. So what are these 9 obstacles? And overcoming the obstacles is an attribute of yoga. That is important. That is what we should very well understand. And we will look at some examples from the field of sports without bothering about whether they really went to a yoga class or not. That is not the issue. What the issue is, what we can learn from them as a lesson in yoga. That is important. So yoga in sports does not simply mean that, okay, you do some XYZ stretches, breathing techniques, but how well are you empowering yourself to overcome the obstacles in life? Of course, today we have chosen this sports, but this applies to everything. These are all some newspaper clippings. Of course, you can see Tendulkar and Rahul Dravid being taught. We use some of these techniques of Iyengar yoga to get into some alignment. No doubt, yes, this is important to make them physically fit, but more important is to remember asana and pranayama alone cannot make you a yogi. How one faces the obstacles is the measure. Any difficulty that comes, not just the sporting, even in our life, we have a lot of challenges, difficulties that do come, and how do you face them? That is the key thing. Abhyasa and Vairagya are the two pillars of yoga. Abhyasa means satu dirghakala nairantarya satkara sevito dridha bhumihi. Very important. You must practice whatever. Practice means not just postures and pranayama. I reiterate, it is not limited to that. Patanjali discusses a lot of things. Of course, we will not go into those details, but the whole yogic practice, how we look at life, how we face life, the whole idea is, can you remain calm under all trying circumstances? That abhyasa you should do nirantara, every day, dirghakala, and with enthusiasm. Then we should develop dispassion. In today's world, this is very, very important. Vairagya, very important in the today's context. Vairagya means dispassion. It does not mean running away from life. No, that is called irresponsibility. Vairagya, Patanjali defines, drishta anushravika vishaya vidrishnasya vishikara sangna vairagyam. That is, we get caught with whatever we see, we hear, we touch, we smell, we taste. We get caught. Patanjali says, don't get caught, because if you are defeated by your organs of perception and actions, then you cannot progress in your sadhana. Be it be sports, be it be anything in life, this is what we have to remember, because they are the two pillars of yoga. So we'll take a look at the first one, what we call as Vyadhi. Patanjali says this is one of the obstacles for any sadhaka. Any sadhaka, not necessarily just yoga sadhaka, even in sports. For example, Vyadhi can be very disturbing. Some disease, some illness, some sickness, some injury. It is quite possible that a lot of people just get rid of the whole sadhana just because they encountered some Vyadhi. Here is an example. Kobe Bryant, a basketball player, amazing personality, was born in the year 1978. Unfortunately, we lost him in 2020 in a helicopter accident. That's very unfortunate. But he was an American professional basketball player, an excellent player, a lot of awards to his credit. And such a person, he got into injury. What injury? Finger. His little finger, he injured. The knuckle got dislocated. So he had a problem. It was terrible for him. The National Basketball Association had a lot of hopes on him. Now he has difficulty. That was also season. And taking off the two for a player like Kobe Bryant was very, very tough. So what did they do? They put some sort of a splints, as you can see in the figure on this right hand, a splint to join his injured little finger with the ring finger. So he was playing, but because of the pain and the problem with the orientation, the throw and the shots, they changed a bit, which was not as efficient as was before. Well, he did not give up. What did he do? He never left his practice. And after a while, when the splint was removed, it so happened that the two fingers got more separation than it was before. Earlier, he was able to join the little finger pinky with his ring finger, but after this splint for a long time, he was not able to join them together, because of which the way he held the ball, the way he made the shots became a problem. But he did not take it. That's why I put not take, make. He said, okay, I will make use of this injury itself to my advantage. Then he started how to modify the shots even with this altered condition. What did he do? He kept on practicing 100,000 shots, 1 lakh shots to perfect himself so that he can become effective. And he did it. So please remember this, that he overcame that effect of injury. And that is actually the yogic mind. Yogic mind does not necessarily mean that you hold your nose, breathe from one nostril, exhale from other. They are useful, no doubt, but that mindset is what we have to appreciate. And there is a lot that we need to learn from Kobe Bryant. Then the next obstacle is called sthana. Sthana means mental laziness, inefficiency, and of course this procrastination and dullness. And procrastination, I think, well, many are experts. Procrastination simply means voluntarily and unnecessarily delaying a task. In yoga class, we regularly observe. They come for one class. Next day, you have to wake up early. Waking up 5 a.m. Alarm will ring with all the sweet voice. Then you put it off. Then postpone. Okay, today let me not go because yesterday I think I have worked very hard. So let's see day after tomorrow. Then that's it. Then you will slip. Then for a few days, there is a guilty feel. Oh, I did not do yoga. But after some days, that will also go away. Then you comfortable not doing. Then you find excuses for not doing. Please remember, this not only applies to yoga practice, even because there are a lot of students I see, even our studies. We procrastinate. Today, why study this? We will postpone. And finally, on the day of the exam only, everything will happen. Oh, that, this, that. So this is an obstacle. Patanjali, you see, Patanjali is a great spiritual scientist. He has identified this jhana as one of the important things which we have to overcome. And yogic sadhana, all these are built in. I'm not actually discussing all those details today, because Patanjali has given how to overcome these obstacles. That's why in the Ashtanga Yoga it starts with Yama and Niyama. Today I'm focusing only for sports, therefore I will not go into those details. Well, this is another person, Michael Phelps, because we discussed about Sthana. I'm giving you what is not Sthana. How to overcome Sthana? Well, in yoga it is possible, but what I am saying is that if you do not have Sthana, how you will be. That is a classical example. About 20 years back, this Phelps set world record. You know, most of us know he is one of the greatest swimming talent in the entire world, and is 39 world records to his account, with so many medals. In China, in Beijing, he made a record by winning all the gold medals in the swimming competition. And as an Olympian, he had 28 total medals, of which 23 are gold, 3 are silver, 10 or more, 2 medals are bronze, and he has 10 more medals in the next closest Olympics. So he's a big name. But how did he do this? Is there any magic? Please remember, there is no magic. Simple, whatever Patanjali says, abhyasa, vairagya. Yet, every day morning, swim. Evening, swim. Swim how much? You have to swim about 80,000 meters a week, almost 15 miles. Dear Yoga Bandhus, please remember, there is no free lunch. You have to work hard. And he used to swim twice a day, and 3 times in a week did some weightlifting, and every day trained for about 6 hours, 6 days a week. No break. And even on his birthdays, he had not taken a break. Even on the Christmas day, he stuck to his practice schedule. This is what we have to remember. This is very important things. He learned to see the setbacks as opportunities and used trash talks from his competitors to fuel his drive to win. That's how today also we talk about Michael Phelps. So this is what we have to remember. So this is what is the yogic mindset. Not to procrastinate, not to give way to the dullness of mind, dhyana. Then samshaya. Samshaya is this indecision, doubt, whether to do or not. Will it help me or not? We don't even do. Oh, go to yoga class. Oh, he bends that way. I saw him bending. Oh, if I bend, my back will break. He has not even gone to class, nothing. He simply doubt. If I make my back is broken, what will I do? That will be samshaya. That's why Lord Krishna very clearly says, samshayatma vinashyati. If you start doubting everything without trying anything, you have no scope of progressing. So you should leave samshaya. You should keep on with your progress. That's why I have shown in the right hand figure, top one, if you keep with faith digging at one place, that is called well, you will get water. With doubt, if you start, you dig some 4 feet in one place, leave it, another 4 feet in one place, leave it, it will become a Rudra Bhumi, burial ground. The choice is ours. Whether you want to well and a sweet water or just to make your life a burial ground, the choice is yours. Therefore, we should get out of this samshaya. And especially when it comes to the Patanjali's path, there is no need to actually doubt at all, because it's a well-proven task. We just have to follow Patanjali. Then we are sure to reach the goal. What is the goal? Goal is Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. You will get that calmness of mind, provided you go in that. So this is true in any field. That's why this statement from Bruce Lee I like very much. Bruce Lee has said, when he was asked, are you afraid of some competitor? He said, I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once, but I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times. You should hold on to one thing, keep doing. You become an expert. So this is a very interesting statement we should all remember all times. There is no shortcut to life. Abhyasa, I reiterate. And if you have to do abhyasa, you have to have vairagya, because if you indulge yourself in a lot of sensual pleasures, you will not be able to get up in the morning, you will not be able to do things properly. That's why abhyasa is very, very important. Well, this is another thing. Patanjali says pramadha, carelessness, negligence. Because, people say we face a lot of stress, there is low confidence, and you want to find out an easy path to win. In sports, we see that that's how some people indulge in taking some sort of drugs, some sort of energy boosting injections. Some are caught, some are not caught, but you may win the race, but you are spoiling yourself physically, emotionally, psychologically because of these things. Please remember, anyone in the sports field, how long will he be there in the competitive sports? Maybe 15 years maximum. Many of the very active sports people, that career will end at about 35 years. Very rarely some will mature up to 40. But we should remember that there is a post-sports life also, post-retirement life. That should also be good. That is why we emphasize get into the yogic paradigm for all the sports persons, so that not only while playing sports you are on the right track, but even after the sports. Because there are a lot of psychological challenges. When you are very actively involved on the field, well, you have a lot of publicity, name, fame, everybody will come. Once you move out, once you retire, these things gradually decline. Press will no longer come to you. Then that leads to a lot of psychological disturbance. People don't recognize you that easily because someone else would have come. And public memory is anyway short. So that can be disturbing. But if you are in the path of yoga, Patanjali will teach you how to get into this aspect of vairagya, how to not attach to any of these name, fame, etc. But unfortunately, we have seen this culture of WWW, that is wealth without work. That's how people get into cheating, match fixing. As it is, they get a lot of money, but on top of it, they get into a lot of these inferior means because they are not trained properly at the emotional and psychological level. We will not name any person, but we all know that this remains as a fact. And this, if all these things have to go. Now, I'm just using sports because that is the topic today, but this would very well apply to many other areas or arena of our life. I'll give you a counter example. of non-cheating. Of course, this is what really happens. You are known, you do something like this, then suddenly name to shame, fame to blame, it will come. Very unfortunate. But if the authorities, the sporting authorities decide that yoga must be just not for physical conditioning, for psychological, emotional, spiritual conditioning, if yoga is made compulsory in all these sports, then such things will not happen. That is what we should remember. That's where yoga has the greatest strength. I'll give you a counter example. What is, how some of the great cricketers have excelled themselves by, totally showing an opposite tendency to cheating. Golden Jubilee Test, India versus England, 1980. The match is in full swing. G.R. Vishwanath is the captain. Bob Taylor is batting. You see in the picture, this is G.R. Vishwanath, Bob Taylor, this is Syed Kirmani, and the bowler here is Kapil Dev, and you see umpire Hanumanta Rao standing here. Kapil Dev bowls, and opposite you see actually Ian Botham. And Kapil Dev bowls, and the ball goes from Bob Taylor. Kirmani jumps and takes a fantastic catch, appeals, and Hanumanta Rao's index finger goes up, he is out. G.R. Vishwanath, who was standing in the first slip, very close to Kirmani, observed this, and G.R. Vishwanath knew that the ball did not touch the bat of Bob Taylor. G.R. Vishwanath observed. Bob Taylor, of course, as a part of cricket ethics, he could not object. He slowly started returning. Then G.R. Vishwanath immediately walked to Hanumanta Rao and told him, umpire, I think he is not out. The ball did not touch the bat. Because remember, those days, whatever today's technology, it was not there. It was completely umpiring. Today, of course, there are a lot of sensors on the bat, on the ball. Cameras are extremely sensitive. You can know everything. But those days, that was not there. Hanumanta Rao said, no, I think once given out, he's out. But G.R. Vishwanath also consulted his other people like Gavaskar, and they said, yes, we'll support you. Then he insisted, umpire, that I think you should recall. Then umpire said, okay, if you want, you call him. Then G.R. Vishwanath asked Bob Taylor to stop and recalled him, and Bob Taylor played. And what is interesting, the partnership thrived well. India lost the match. England won. But even today, we talk about this match because we had that G.R. Vishwanath, a great gentleman who showed how the sports have to be played and how we need to really value ethics in life. That's why even now, even after so many years, so many matches we have won, but all the matches we don't talk about. Although this match we have lost, till today we talk of this because of non-cheating. So this is an important lesson. Then alasya. Patanjali says this is another greatest obstacle. I think about alasya, I don't need to explain because we see this alasya, sloth, laziness, not getting up, and even you get up not giving full. That is alasya. I have seen people who come to yoga class many times, not interested. They are happy. If you say Shavasana, they are happy. Simply lie down and sleep off. Shavasana practice is difficult, but posture is not difficult. So this is alasya. If this alasya sets in, then you cannot progress in anything in life. And more so in sports, you cannot have alasya. There's no chance to survive. I'll tell you opposite of this, discipline and the involvement. And again, take the example of Sachin Tendulkar. He injured in 2003 his index finger. He played the entire World Cup with that injured finger, and the pain was increasing because at those times I was also teaching him yoga. So I know the kind of pain he used to go through, and finally he decided for a surgery to go to USA. When he went there, apparently, from India, Anand Joshi, who is a Mumbai-based sports orthopedician, he also accompanied, and they decided to make a surgery. And Tendulkar was insisting, asking, no, how do you do surgery? What are you doing? Doctor said, be confident, we will do. Then Tendulkar said, that is not the point. My cricket, my game. You see, if you cut open from the front, then for me to catch the ball and all those things will be difficult. You have to open from the back. Doctor said, okay, don't worry, relax. And they gave him anesthesia to do the surgery. But still he was so involved because always this cricket. I got to play for the country. I need to do something. That was so much. As the surgery was going on, even under the effect of anesthesia, he woke up and asked doctor, please show me my hand. Where are you cutting? The doctor did not know what to do because they put some screen, etc. But they said, no, don't worry, we are on the right path, we understand. Please relax. Why did you wake up? You're not supposed to be so conscious at this time. But he said, no, I want to have a look at it. Then they had to remove that screen, lift and show it to him that, don't worry, we are cutting from the back only. Then only he relaxed. So why I said this is, if we do not have this aspect of alasya, then only that involvement into whatever we are doing, maybe cricket, maybe studies, maybe any other profession, that can come. But if we have alasya, then nothing will come. Okay, chalta hai. Okay, what is there? Blame the fate. This happened, that's why I could not progress, whatever. So that does not work. So that's what we should remember. So this is what I think one of the newspapers, I think Sachin himself is quite happy. And though he had back problem in 1999, which almost triggered a national crisis, he reminded that half-hour session, now this is referring to the yoga class which I was taking for the Indian team. After the class, he used to do half an hour extra. See, that's the point. He had no alasya. 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. we had the class, and he used to stay on. He used to, he was being such a man of such stature, he used to request, sir, can you teach me a little extra? Then he used to stay till 8:40. We used to do 40 minutes because 9 o'clock the bus used to leave from the hotel to the stadium. They were very strict on that. And he used to practice for 40 minutes. Then he used to take me also for breakfast. We used to have breakfast together for 20 minutes. Then he used to go strike, which means he used to finish his bath, everything ready. With kit, he used to come to practice extra. So this is what he has said. He reminded that half-hour session remained general in nature. Speaking after Tuesday's one-on-one, he added, in the past too, I have found Dr. Omkar helpful. So this is a press statement he made. The point what I wanted to tell you is that great people cannot afford to have alasya. You look at any big achievers, this alasya cannot be there. In fact, most don't achieve because of alasya, laziness. That is the point. And Patanjali gives a way how to break this laziness. That's why yoga is very important. That's why we emphasize, re-emphasize, re-emphasize to look at Patanjali Yoga Sutra as a whole, not just as a part. As a part, I mean just the practice of asana and pranayama, where it is no doubt useful, but you have to go much beyond that. That's the point. Then, well, some more postures, which I was teaching. Okay. Then the next thing is avirati. This is another obstacle. I'm sorry, I don't know whether I'm exceeding time. Satya, how much more time do I have?
11:35 till 11:35, sir.
Okay. So I will have another 10 minutes. I will keep up my time.
Okay.
The next obstacle is called avirati. Today, what is really bothering is this for all the youth, unfortunately, sensuality, non-abstention, craving. I think the figure is itself explains whatever I wanted to say. There are so many distractions. Today, in fact, it is not the age of technology, it is the age of distractions. Today's youth have more challenge than maybe our generation because we did not have this much distractions. Today's youth have to be careful. This is where I'm very, very happy that IIIT Newswid has taken yoga in a very serious way. I think this should become a role model for the all educational institutions. Because without this, today it is very easy to slip down. Just our handheld mobile is good enough. You get a lot of unsolicited messages, links, which are very tempting. And under the force of the youth hormone, if you click that link, that's gone. If you click, you fall sick. That's good enough to pull you out. And other things you understand, getting into bad habits, they should be avoided. Generally, followers don't follow what you say, they follow what you do. This is what we have to remember. All the sports persons, all those who want to be role models, especially the film actors. Today, films, the hero appears with a cigar in the mouth, generally. I'm not saying all, but generally. And in the bottom somewhere, there is a line that comes, oh, what is that? Smoking is injurious to health. Nobody will read that, but everybody will see this and follow this. That is the danger. That's why we need all these role models, even teachers, to be extremely cautious, because students will not simply listen to what teacher says. He will actually do what the teacher does. So that's why we have to be very, very careful. I'll give you a counterexample of people who are so disciplined. Rahul Dravid. I think he is a synonym for discipline, because I have taught him yoga for several years, including even now. So disciplined, especially when he was in the peak of his cricketing career. He used to call me many times in the evening and said, I have time only from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Can I come? And I had so much of liking for his discipline. I used to say yes, and exactly 8 p.m. he would be there. He was in Indiranagar and I was in Jayanagar 8th block, about I think 12 kilometers away. But that did not prevent. He used to come and practice till 8 to 9 or 9:30, whatever, and go. And anytime, whatever time he would commit, he would do that. So that is why, thankfully, he is an ambassador for anti-smoking, etc. That is something great. I think youngsters should look at Rahul Dravid as a role model in terms of the discipline. Even now, he keeps up that kind of timing. Then Bhranti Darshana or false views or perception. What happens? We achieve some small thing and we think that that is the end. And we think that, oh, nobody can beat me, I am the best, etc. I have seen, I don't want to name, people extremely talented, they play for the state, Karnataka state, then somehow they become, oh, now I'm big man, and they don't focus, they lose the focus, they cannot hit the bullseye, they just waste their time wandering around. And it's very, very pathetic to see many great talents who lose out because of this false perception, getting stuck in smaller goals, not putting effort towards higher goals. So this happens even in the field of yoga. Several people that, okay, I am done this, okay, I can do Ganda Bharudasana, that's it. I am the boss. What is happening to your mind? Have you worked? Have you seen what Patanjali has said? No, you have to look at that. So we have to be very, very careful with this Bhranti Darshana. Don't get stuck. You must keep moving to higher goals. Here is an excellent example of this great footballer, Cristiano Ronaldo. He came up in a very, very, very hard way. From a very poor setup, he came up, and an experiment is being done on him. How much of practice he must have done. It is amazing. He can look at a ball when it leaves the person who kicks and then execute the shots. He can use his head, he can use his shoulders or legs to hit the goal. And they did an experiment. What is the level of his perception? This video will explain you. It is done in darkness. You know, they will switch off the light when he has to execute the task. I think, see here. Scores in complete darkness. First goal in darkness. You see, now there is light, they will switch off. Once the ball is kicked, now light is gone. Now this is thermal camera. Now you see, through the head, he has executed the goal, which means he has, the moment the ball left that fellow, he knows what is the trajectory of the ball. Second goal in darkness. Dark, pitch dark. Then you see how he executed. He just uses this. You see, how can you get that? This is amazing. Hope you are able to appreciate. This is completely executed in darkness. And you see the best part of this. Third goal, the lights off even before the ball leaves. So by looking at the way the kicker positions, he has to decide. See, lights gone. And there is the goal. How did it happen? See, he did it with his shoulders. You can see that, how he has accomplished that. You see the thermal camera. See, there is the thermal camera. You see that. That's how it is. So, he could predict the path of the ball purely based on how the person kicks. How is this possible? This is possible through study, practice, where the mind, your sensual organs are not distracted even a bit. You give your 100%. By that, what happens? Every muscle will have its own brain, not just the eyes. Each muscle can have vision. Only such people can excel. That's why I wanted to show you this. Then alabdha bhumikatva, which means failing to attain stages of practice. So you see, not able to move higher up, you get stuck in the intermediate stage, then generally a lot of people lose out because of disappointment, disgust. Patanjali warns, please be careful. When there is no progress, hold on to that. You have to wait. You can see this is the classical case of Anil Kumble in May 2002. Match at West Indies, Antigua, a delivery from Marvin Dillon. A short ball came. Anil Kumble was batting. He did not judge it properly. Hit the lower jaw. Although he was wearing helmet, the jaw was broken, and he was dismissed in few balls. He went to pavilion. They did X-ray. They said, "Okay, we will send you for surgery." He said, "No, I will have surgery in India." He said, "Okay, we'll book the flight tickets." Next day, they booked the flight tickets for evening. The Andrew Lupis, he was the physio. He made the bandage around. He was given some painkillers, but it was paining heavily. The jaw was almost independently moving. Such was the bad thing. Next day, the West Indies had to bat, and Sourav Ganguly was the captain. He said, "Now, okay, what to do? Anil Kumble is not there." So he asked Sachin Tendulkar to do the spin bowling. But to his surprise, Ganguly saw that Anil Kumble was on the field. All the teammates were surprised. With a bandage around the head, he's there on the field. They were shocked because they thought he will not play. Then he came, and the Andrew Lupis physio was just standing on the boundary line watching what happens to Kumble. And all that he told Kumble was, "Boss, do anything but don't appeal." But Kumble is a very ferocious appealer. He did appeal, and he went on bowling. He bowled 14 overs in that excruciating pain. And what more, he took the wicket of Brian Lara, none other than Brian Lara. And then, of course, later in the evening, he returned to India for a treatment. That's a different issue, but that is the braveness. And in Pariksha Pe Charcha, Narendra Modi, Honorable Prime Minister, actually gave this example to students that even in the adverse conditions, you can perform. That's what he has given. And of course, Kumble also has acknowledged Modi's prize on this. So this is very important. So this is what it is. He is one of the great followers of yoga. And we have done a lot of work, especially when he had shoulder injury. At that time, yoga helped him a lot, not only because he and even Jawgal Srinath, both of them went through shoulder surgeries. And for rehabilitation, yoga helped them a lot. And they have also acknowledged that. And then is the anavasti tattva, or instability, not able to hold on to the achieved position. Once you get, for example, we have seen a lot of people who score century in one game, but then they will not be able to again get to that level. They slip from their position. That is called anavasti tattva, instability. Patanjali says, no, this is, if you know how to manage your mind, you can overcome this. So example is Cristiano Ronaldo. There's a long story, but I will cut short. Very poor person. He was, his father had a menial job, very low paid job. Jose, he used to work in a football team. His work was to sweep and carry the kits of the players. And Ronaldo used to go with him. He also wanted to play, but he had no money to buy the ball. So all that they used to do is to take some old cloths, roll it into a ball shape, and he used to kick them. Then people found his talent. At a very young age, he got into playing football, but since he was poor, he was humiliated. Then he went to some school which can also teach football. There the teacher actually humiliated. Then he lost his father. Not just that, when he started playing, even at the age of 12, he was recognized as a great talent in football. But when he was 15, they recognized that he had a heart problem called tachycardia. Tachycardia means that pacing of the heart. His heart was beating very fast. Then the doctor said, well, football is no way you can play football because it's a very, very taxing on the circular respiratory system. Your heart has to be very good. You cannot play. You have to leave football. He said, no way, I will continue. Then the doctor said, the only option is we have to do surgery for you, and you may survive or you may just die on the operation table. But he said, took a chance. Surgery was done. Then in less than a year, he came back to active football. He played and he became an amazing talent. There's a lot I can speak about him, but there is no time. In the Portugal, he became a household name, and he used to, he developed some extreme talents. The speed with which he used to run was almost resembling the speed of a cheetah, and the jump, he could jump up in the air about 78 centimeters. That is something amazing. Not many people can do. And he could, generally what happens, a right-hander, right leg will be stronger. Left-hander, left leg will be stronger. But Ronaldo had the ability to use both right and left leg with same force. That is another great attribute. And he could hit goals very easily, even with head. And you saw in the other video how he could accomplish the goal even with head. He won a lot of awards. There is plenty to talk about him. But what I would like to highlight is that when the Portugal Prime Minister visited our country in 2017 January, he met Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and he gave him as a gift the jersey of Ronaldo, jersey number 7, which was autographed by Ronaldo. What an honor! What an honor! This is a very, very thrilling. A country's prime minister honoring his football, the country's football hero to that extent. That is something truly remarkable. So this one episode will tell you what is the greatness of Cristiano Ronaldo. Anyway, yeah. Well, that is about the obstacles. Then, of course, Greg Chappell was another yoga enthusiast. And, I have made one book on yoga for sports, considering all these things, for which Greg Chappell has kindly returned the forward. And I think the book will see the light sometime soon with the grace of my Guru and God. Then, of course, Major Dhyan Chand, we cannot forget, is one of the great legendary. At the age of 16, he started hockey. We know that Olympic 1928 and Los Angeles, they won. And what is interesting is 1936 Olympics, Berlin, he was the captain, Dhyan Chand, and the final match happened to be against Germany itself. And he has represented the country in 3 Olympics. And Dhyan Chand has scored 33 goals from all these important Olympic games. What is important is that in the Berlin, the Germany actually was losing 4-1. India won. And Hitler was watching the match. Hitler sensed that his country is losing, and he had a lot of contempt for all these black people. And so in between the match, he left. Later, he knew that India won, and he also came to know about the talent. In the picture, you see Dhyan Chand hitting the goal. And this is Hitler, this is Major Dhyan Chand, amazing person. And then Hitler expressed his desire to meet Dhyan Chand. So this is something interesting. So Dhyan Chand went to meet Hitler. Then Hitler asked, because Dhyan Chand was wearing simple canvas shoes. In those days, there were no fancy stuff that we see today. And Hitler asked him, what do you do other than hockey? Then Dhyan Chand said, I am in Indian Army. Then he asked, what is your rank? Dhyan Chand said, I am a Lance Naik. Lance Naik means that is not a very high grade, somewhat 1 grade above the lowest soldier those days. Then Hitler immediately said, come over to Germany, I will make you field marshal. Can you stand this? For which what Dhyan Chand said is what we have to remember. Dhyan Chand said, India is my country and I am fine there. This is the patriotism. This is what we all should develop. This is very, very important. And this is a remarkable answer which took back even Hitler. Then Milkha Singh, he was born those days in the world Pakistan. His parents and family, as soon as the time of partition, they were actually killed. Unfortunately, they were murdered. And father looked at Milkha Singh and he wanted him to escape and told him, "Bhag, Milkha Singh, bhag." Perhaps you all remember that movie, Bhag, Milkha Singh, bhag. And that became a buzzword. He started running from Pakistan to India. He came to Delhi, he joined the army, get into the Olympics. Of course, he could not win the medal, but he became fourth, but he won many other medals. But please look at the first statement, what he had said. Today, youngsters want to become like Milkha Singh. They must realize that for 12 to 13 years, I toiled before I am in my first Olympics. Youngsters want to achieve everything fast, the shortcut way. They want to achieve everything in a year, and for this, they resort to drugs too. This is not possible. They should work hard. I think this is the greatest message, and we should learn. We should keep that buzzword, Bhag, Milkha, Bhag. We should also keep running in whatever chosen field. And that in a scientific way, Patanjali gives us through his Yoga Sutras. Then we should have good vision in life. Tendulkar, playing, his dream was to lift the World Cup, was my dream. And he says, I needed 22 years to achieve my dream. We were close to winning the World Cup on few occasions, but just could not get it right. That did not stop me from working hard. Very important. I kept my focus and ultimately got it. Nothing is impossible in the world if you try passionately. I think this is a great yogic mindset, which we should all imbibe. A few things. You see, we have developed some techniques like assisted practice for cricketers. And you can see in my book, I have given all sports, how can they do on field with some props, like you see, bolsters or chair, and on field without any props, and assisted. People can mutually assist to do various postures. These are all in my book, which hopefully will see the light soon. In fact, Tendulkar, Dhoni, they have all written the blurbs for the book. Greg Chappell has written the foreword. And well, I just take a couple of minutes. Now, this is yoga in sports. Now, yoga as sports. Yes, very important thing, because today yoga has reached this state of being labeled as sports. But here we should remember that it should not limit to simple body contortionism. That's why I took this figure. I liked it because just doing the postures. Postures are important, no doubt, but let that not alone be a measure to call somebody as a champion in yoga. You have to look at, for example, some of the parameters of breathing, how well he has mastered the handling of his circular respiratory response. And then today, thankfully, there are several gadgets, the EEG techniques, to find out how calm the person is. You can measure the attention, everything. I think some such methodologies have to be evolved. And then also today, at least for a few people, you can do functional MRI, where you can see how the brain is working during meditation, etc. There are a lot of studies that are available. I think today we should look at in a holistic way to judge who is a champion in yoga, so that we can encourage all the youngsters to learn yoga in the proper way. That is important. Then it will be worthwhile to take yoga as one of the sports, so that while it is regarded as sports, it will also help the person to evolve himself to be a true yogi. So this is what I had to share with you all. Namaste to all of you. And if you have any questions, I shall be glad to answer. I thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity. Thank you so much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Namaste, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for sparing your valuable time and enlightening us in several aspects of yoga. Here, I request you and the guest of honor also to spare a couple of minutes to watch our students' performance video and bless them.
Children from Tribal IT, they have come all the way. They are all youngsters between 18 to 20 years. They will be doing a wonderful yoga. The other day they practiced it in front, performed it in front of me and Rashtrapati ji. We felt immensely happy. They will be performing it because yoga is an exercise of mind and body, which is very much required now because of our lifestyle changes. My advice to all people on this occasion is, everybody should take care and we must go back to our earlier lifestyle.
कृष्णमाराधयामि जगत विषय कृष्णमाराधयामि सकल कलुष भंगे स्वर्ग सोपान संगे सकल कलुष भंगे स्वर्ग सोपान संगे धरण तर तरंगे देवी गंगे लेके आया है कोई बस पाप तुझको सौंप दे, फिर भी तू बहती चले सबको लगा करके गले, स्वाद अमृत का तुझे ही झूम कर जाना, प्रसीदा 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 प्रसीदा। नमामि गंगे नमामि गंगे नमामि गंगे नमामि गंगे नमामि गंगे नमामि गंगे नमामि पानी जो तेरा खारा तेरे आंसू की धारा, कैसे मैं देखूं संतान हूँ, माना है तुझे माँ ये धर्म है मेरा, मैं तुझे तेरा वो सम्मान दूँ। नमामि गंगे नमामि गंगे
Children from
Close, sir. Thank you, sir. I hope the chief guest and guest of honor will bless our students. Now, a brief introduction about our today's guest of honor. Being devoted to the path of action, free from egoism, selfishness, purification in the work, without any expectation, is a Karma Yogi. Today, we are delighted to have our guest of honor, the Karma Yogi, Dr. Jaideep Aryaji, who is the Secretary General for National Yogasana Sports Federation. He flourished the idea of developing the Federation for Nation. He is the Chief Central Coordinator of Patanjali Yogapith Haridwar. Apart from expertise in yoga, he is a writer, orator, and a research scholar. He has an extensive knowledge, not just about yoga, Ayurveda, and several streams of that, how yoga can apply to daily living. For his contribution in the field of yoga, the Haryana government has honored him with the Haryana Gaurav Award. It is our honor to have your presence on this day, sir. We gladly welcome you, sir. I welcome Dr. Jaideep Aryaji and request to address the national webinar.
योगेन चित्तस्य पदेन वाचां मलं शरीरस्य च वैद्यकेन योपाकरोतं प्रवरं मुनीनां पतञ्जलिं प्राञ्जलिरानतोऽस्मि पतञ्जलिं प्राञ्जलिरानतोऽस्मि। संगच्छध्वं संवदध्वं संवो मनांसि जानताम् देवा भागं यतः पूर्वे संजानाना उपासते संजानाना उपासते। उपस्थित सभी योग योद्धाओं को my pranams to all my brothers and sisters, and first of all I want to congratulate to all of you on this very pious day of Teachers Day, and we bow before our teachers, we salute them, we offer our pranams. And I enjoyed the speech of Dr. S.N. Omkarji, who is our Yoga Ratna and Chief Research Scientist. The way he presented the yoga before all my students, my dear students, yoga is a very vast subject. And yoga is our traditional knowledge. From years and years, I uttered one shloka from Rig Veda. Avatvahi bheshajam vivatvahi yadrupaha. This prana tattva is the medicine Maharshi Patanjali has given in detail about the Ashtanga Yoga. Ashtanga Yoga starts from Yamaha. One of our forefather, the father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi, worked on the single point of yoga. That was ahimsa, non-violence. Many of our rishis, they practice yoga in a very different manner. Mahatma Buddha, he himself was a great yogi, and he utilized one of the arm of the yoga, one of the part of the yoga as his pathfinder, non-violence. Mahavir Swami used the same path of non-violence. Yam is having 5 different aspects. One is ahimsa, second is truth, satya, asate, brahmacharya, aprigraha. These are 5 uniform principles for each and everyone. If you are living here, or you are living in Europe, or you are in Canada, in American country, these 5 rules are for each and everyone. This is the gift of yoga to the whole world. If you want to survive there constitutionally, you want to remain in the friendship with all other citizens, you have to follow these 5 universal laws. Means you have to remain in non-violence, you have to remain in the truth, you have to follow the path of brahmacharya, aprigraha. Minimum aprigraha means to invert your senses and to master on your senses is called aprigraha. And niyama, शौच संतोष तपः स्वाध्याय ईश्वर प्रणिधानानि. शौच, cleanliness, santosh, contentment. I want to share some basic principles of yoga. What is the meaning of yoga? Cleanliness of your thoughts, not your surroundings. This is called yoga. And if I want to share you in 3 words with you, every work which has these 3 words can be defined as yoga. One is PHC. P means purity, H means happiness, and C means concentration. If you are studying with purity, with happiness, and with concentration, that is called yoga. If you are playing with purity, with happiness and concentration, that is called yogic sports. If you are doing the service and our girls, they are making their homes, but with the purity, happiness and concentration, that is called yoga. So yoga means to not only to detoxify your, to cleanse your oxidants of your body. Yoga means to detoxify your thoughts also. I'm sharing one slide with you. What is the plan of National Yogasana Sports Federation? Our Andhra Pradesh Yogasana Sports Association President A. Radhika ji and Secretary Shri Satya Sridhar ji is there. And we have launched our national championship, where more than 1 lakh students are supposed to participate in this championship. And our motto is very clear: Samatvam Yoguchyate. The thought process, the theory and basics of yoga is always remain in the state of equilibrium. And that is called Samatvam Yoguchyate. Yogeshwar Bhagwan Shri Krishna earlier, in last 2 days, we celebrated his birth. Janmashtami hui. In Gita, in Bhagavad Gita, Yogeshwar, Lord Krishna gives the definition of yoga. Yogastha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya siddh asiddhyo samo bhutva samatvam yoguchyate. Every student, every sports person should learn this definition of yoga. Yogastha kuru karmani. Always do each and every work in the state of yogic consciousness. Sangam tyaktva dhananjaya. In the state of detachment. Siddh asiddhyo samo bhutva. Whether you will win or lose, remain in the state of contentment, in the state of equilibrium, in the state of balance. And Samatvam Yoguchyate, this state of balance is called yoga. Every sports person should know the basic definition of yoga. This can lead you to the state of contentment. When you will learn to remain in the state of balance, you can achieve yoga in your life. And you can achieve and you can perform the best in your life. Today's sports is a cutthroat competitions are there. In sports, sportsmen, they remain in the state of stress, in the state of nervousness. When they have to perform the best, you just imagine 6 balls are there. And Bumrah is bowling. and only 6 runs are there to chase by another team. How much pressure he is facing? Whole country is watching him. The whole team is dependent on Bumrah. And at that moment when he gives his best, that will lead to the success. So each and every sports person, when he performs in the state of nervousness, in the state of stress, in the state of pressure, when he performs the best, then he achieves something in her life. Next. In Yogasana sports, there are 5 types of games. 5 categories we can categorize Yogasana sports events in 5 categories. One is traditional Yogasana. Second is artistic Yogasana single, artistic Yogasana pair, rhythmic Yogasana pair, and artistic Yogasana group. Because one of the aspect is yoga is helpful for each and every sports person to cope up his or her stress level, pressure level. So each and every sports person have to learn the breathing exercises, the pranayama, the postures, and the basic values of yoga. The state of meditation. And Yogasana itself is one of the sport. And these are 5 categories are there. And we are planning, IYSF and NYSF is planning to achieve this milestone. In 75th year of our independence, we are planning a world championship in Gujarat, where we are expecting more than 75 countries all over the world are to participate in India in 3 categories. 3 age categories will be there: sub-junior, junior, and senior. Traditional Yogasana, artistic Yogasana pair, rhythmic, and artistic Yogasana group. 5 events will be there in the championship. Next. And our next milestone is our national championship. So I invite all my university students, they should join. They are to adopt one of any game, but I like you to come to Yogasana sports, choose the Yogasana sports in your life and achieve something, because Yogasana is now a new game and there is so many scope is there. You can come and get laurels there. You can be the part of a national championship, can be the part of the world championship, and we are moving step by step towards the Olympic Games. We hope that this Indian game will represent India's soft power in the Olympics after 8 or 12 years. Time will come and it is our game. As karate, judo is the game of Japan. This is our game and we are planning to propose more than 12 medals in Olympics. Next. And in 75th year of the Indian independence, we are planning to have a very big world event where we are going to have 75 crore Surya Namaskar. Starting from 12th of January, and that will conclude on 7th of February, Ratha Saptami. Each and every student we invite to do 13 Surya Namaskar for 21 days is a contribution to the country. 273 Surya Namaskar And if we have 500 students athletes, they will perform 273 Surya Namaskar per person, means 1,36,500 Surya Namaskar will be done by one of the school or one of the, and you are having thousands and thousands of students are there in your university. You can contribute a lot, and we can celebrate our 75th of anniversary of our independence. I invite you to join this mega event of 75 crore Surya Namaskar. And I am very grateful to Rajiv Gandhi University of Knowledge and Technology. I remembered one of the friend is there, and I also witnessed that program where Mr. Venkaiah Naidu ji was praising your university, and I saw the performance of the students of your university, yogic performance of your universities. It is really commendable. I appreciate those students and their coaches. I, on behalf of Patanjali Yogpith, on behalf of Haryana Yogasana Sports Association, National Yogasana Sports Association, and I being the chairman of Haryana Yoga Commission, Government of Haryana, really congratulate the performance of your university. And this is really a knowledgeable webinar. I really thankful to my dear brother, Dr. S.N. Omkar ji, and I really appreciate his commendable presentation. Thanks a lot from my side. Thank you.
Namaste, Dr. Sir. Thanks for your blessings and acceptance to be with us and bringing the awareness among our students, particularly our university students are from the rural areas of across from Andhra Pradesh. So in our campus, we are having around 9,500 students residential. So they will stay for 6 years and they will complete their engineering after 10th class. So as per your suggestion and proposal about 75 crore Surya Namaskaras, definitely I think our administration is very positive in this aspect, and I hope all around our students will take part and they will initiate in the villages also, particularly as per the wish of our Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Bhai Modi ji. We have taken the yoga into the Adivasi areas also from 2013 with the encouragement of Dr. S.N. Omkar sir. So even with your blessings and encouragement, I assure and I promise you that we will conduct this program in a big way throughout Andhra Pradesh. At the same time, I sincerely thank you on behalf of RGKT Newsweek and Yogasana Association of Andhra Pradesh and Yoga Mandir Trust Bangalore. And also, I request, I will forward the 2 videos of Namami Gange. We have created a performance with the inspiration of Narendra Modi ji and Ganga Mata. We have created a concept and have performed it as you have seen before. So that video and the another video is for Vande Mataram. Last time you have witnessed in the program of Yoga Day. Both the videos I will forward to you if you permit. I request you to present to His Holiness Baba Ramdev Ji, and we wish his blessings and your blessings.
Thank you. Definitely. You please send your videos. I'll present from Satya Swamiji Maharaj. And definitely at one of the event, he will also join and bless the students of Rajiv Gandhi University.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for joining us, for sparing your valuable time.
Thank you.
And sharing your experiences and knowledge. Thank you, sir.
Pranam Omkarji.
I extend heartfelt thanks
Jaideep,
to Sir
namaste.
Omkar, sir. You can interact sir, with, if you want, you can share some feelings or
Yeah,
something.
it's nice meeting Dr. Jaideep, and I think the projected plan for taking the Indian yoga to next higher levels, something very, very commendable. In fact, when I wrote the biography on my Guruji B.K. Iyengar, Baba Ramdev Ji has kindly written the foreword. Although I have not met him, my pranams to him too.
बहुत अच्छा Omkarji, we will meet definitely very
Definitely.
and we will definitely meet.
Sure, sure, sure.
Thank you. Love to see you.
Same here.
On behalf of RGKT, Newsweek, and Yogasana Sports Association of Andhra Pradesh and Yoga Mandir Trust, Bangalore, I extend my heartfelt thanks to our chief guest and guest of honor who spared their time for their busiest schedule to grace the occasion. Today we had an opportunity to hear your worthful thoughts, and this gave us lots of knowledge and inspiration, sir. Our sincere thanks to Andhra Pradesh State Skill Development Corporation for sponsoring the Zoom platform, and the committee members of Yogasana Sports Association of Andhra Pradesh, and also the members of Yoga Mandir Trust. I would like to thank our director, Professor GVR Srinivasarao Garu, for his uninterrupted support. Because of him, this was possible. And I thank Dr. Banu Garu, the administrative officer, Sravani Madam, Dean Academics, and the technical department, Suresh Garu and Srikanth Garu, for being with us, the electrical security. Not but the least, I want to share few names of our students who worked restlessly. Mr. Ponit, Varaprasad, Vinita, Neeraja, Suji, Deepu, and others. Thanks to everyone. Now, I request all the participants to fill the Google form given in the chat box, and they can receive the e-certificate from the university. We will have sufficient time, no need to hurry. Please spare some time and fill the form carefully. Thanks to all of you. My humble pranams to my Gurudev, Dr. S.N. Knonkar sir, for we have seen how much time he spared, and prior, how much time he was spared for preparing the PowerPoint presentation, and how much planning he has done to educate us, to inspire us, and also Dr. Jaideep Aryaji. I know his busy schedule. Thanks to everyone. Namaste, sir.
Namaste. God bless you all. Namaste.
Sir, Me books details. If you share your book details, so many people are requesting. How can they get it? So kindly share the details so that we will forward them
Yeah,
through
most
their
of
mail.
them, most
through
of
their
the
mail.
books are in Kannada, but they're all online available.
Okay, sir. English books. most.
They're also, I think, online. Yes.
Okay, sir. I will share, sir.
Sure.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste. Namaste.